Shalom. Koholo Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakwadash. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai would be the true name of the Son of the Heavenly Father, who the world knows is Jesus Christ, but his true ancient Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and other bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the Lord's elect, teaching in truth and sincerity, for the sake of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. Yes, the evils are in the earth, and it's not like things is getting better. No, the evils are intensifying. Yeah, you don't see events coming into the earth that's shifting the condition of this society for the best for you people. You know, niggas more in a happier place. You know, you got this sense of security for the future, your kids' lives. You know, this friend sitcom type of energy that nah, man, shit getting worse here, man. You see, the condition is getting worse. The people are getting worse. The resources is drying up, and it's the Lord that's doing it. You see, and the more that you hold on to this place, you're gonna find yourself in a state of distress, bugging out, because America is not a true stability, man. But yet you trying to hold on to this place as if it is a stability. These people gonna put a chip in you. That's what it's gonna lead to, man. You see, real quick, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 36, and verse 6. It says, "Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it would go into his hand and pierce it." You see? And this is where America is trying to lead people with the micro C help and this technocracy. You see, in which this guy is going to crash everything around you to where the solution to regaining your footing is going to be to take that C help, man. And this is why the Lord tell you to forsake this place, you know, because that staff pretty much act as a form of support. And if America is such a support to you where you can't see yourself without it, well, this guy's going to try to pierce you, man. He's going to try to put that device inside of you. Yes, it says, "So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him." And when you go back into the time of Egypt, I believe that's like Genesis, the 36th chapter. It speaks about the famine that took hold of Egypt. You know, the response the people had to the famine was by us and our land. You see, these people was willing to give themselves up to Pharaoh for the sake of resources and to regain their footing. And how much more for you people here in America where things is more convenient now? You see, you have this convenient culture, convenience stores, fast food. You know, these things get stripped away. The response these people is going to have to regaining their footing is to run down to their solution, which is going to be receiving that micro C help, man. But yet you're going to be destroyed when you read about it in Revelations, the 14th chapter, for receiving that mark. How you're going to be tormented in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb by that fire and brimstone, which in modern sense is going to come by way of the ICBM missiles, World War III. You know, but yet the stage is being built for this guy to introduce this solution, man. You see, real quick, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21. In verse 25, it says, "And there should be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." You see, and these things are taking place where you see signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, where you having planet alignments, so-called UFO sightings, which they would be the chariots of the Lord, man. You know, as well as the sun shooting off solar flares, government telling you it can knock out your power grids. You see? But upon the earth, you see this distress, you know, intensifying, man. Well, nations is even at war. But even here in America, where you hearing this echo of people crying out about them not being able to make ends meet, you know, rent too high, I can't afford this. You see? But yet that distress is going to intensify to where this guy is going to try to minister that device into you. Because when you go into this word distress, real quick, shows you how it all parallels to what this guy trying to give you the micro C help. But yet you seeing the build up to it. You know, it says here, straits, distress, anguish. You see? And this is what's going to intensify difficulties. Going into that word perilous, You know, times becoming hard to bear to take into approach. You see? Salaki. But you go into this root word, it says here that B definition, it says to press on every side of besieged cities. You see? So this guy's going to press you on every side, man. To where if you in the outskirts of certain cities, the resources to those certain stores out there going to get cut off, man. You know, to where you're going to have to go to certain areas to get resources. But yet to enter into those areas, to shop in those stores, you're going to need the sea hill, man. You see? Yes, it says of straits that force a ship into a narrow channel. So things going to get narrow. You ain't going to have this broad lifestyle like you living now. Nigga, out in the country. You see? This guy, he's contaminating the livestock, you know, the wildlife. You know, this nigga poisoning the wildlife. You had this zombie deer stuff going on, you know, and it's gonna get like that where it's gonna be a risk to eat wild game and shit like that, man, because he's gonna be trying to force you into a narrow channel to where you can only depend on him. Yes, it says of a channel squeeze that pushing in on each side, forcing the beast into a position where it cannot move, so the farmer can administer medication. And you're going to play a part of that beast where he's going to force you through shifting the condition of the society. Certain events is going to take place where shit going to get difficult, where you can only go here to get this. You see? And without the Lord, you're going to really have to trust in this nigga, man, because you're not going to know of the accounts. You know, you had the account where Yahweh Shai had the fish and 5 loaves of bread. You know, he prayed, and then it came in abundance, and he was able to feed the multitude that was before him, and they even left with extra, man. You see, this is the power that's alive and well today, and this is the power that's warning you of the evils that's going to come into the earth. But yet, the outlet to the evils is through him, ultimately through his son Yahweh Shai, which Yahweh Shai, Slacky. Yahweh Shai means he delivers. You see? So you're going to need a deliverer to escape this devil Esau, man. And to escape his device that he's going to try to minister into you when you're in a state of distress. Because the stress is going to intensify, man. Yes, and it says with perplexity. To see in the way is wrong. You know, you go into that word perplexity. Going to that root word, it says to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left one, be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. So you ain't gonna have no plan B. The condition here in this society is gonna get so bad where it ain't gonna be no outlet. You know, you're gonna need the Lord. You see, it's gonna make sense. You see, you're gonna need the Lord. But yet, if you don't know the Lord, you're gonna run to Esau, and he's gonna give you the solution. He's gonna give you resources. But it's gonna be you taking that seed up, man. You know, it says to be at loss of oneself, be in doubt, not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed. And this is what's gonna grow here in the earth, man. A spirit of perplexity. People ain't gonna know what to do. You see? And this is what's gonna cause evils to grow. You know, because the resources gonna dry up. You know, all this is going to happen before he try to minister that device. You know, that's going to be the solution to all this chaos. You know, but yet the chaos got to come first. You see? Because people going to be at loss mentally, as it tells you in the Strong's definition, to have no way out, be at loss mentally. So people who, you know, this nigga always got the answers, man. Let me click on his live to see what he got to say about what's going on. Or what we need to do, where we need to go. He ain't gonna have it. He gonna be on live crying, bugging out. You see? Ultimately, because he ain't got the stability being the Lord, man. You see, because this word, real quick. Where it says, though I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, Psalm 23, it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He making me to lie down. He making me to lie down in green pasture. He lead me beside the still waters, man. Yes, because the Lord keep us at peace. You see? Skip down verse 4. Matter of fact, just keep going. It says, he restored my soul. He leaded me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, in which we walking in the valley of the shadows of death. We in America, man. You know, it's deadly here. It says, I will fear no evil. You see, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. That rod and thy staff being his word, man. This is our comfort. And this is what's going to keep us stable in the mind when the evils increase, because the Lord warned us about it. And ultimately, we know what we know what to pray for, man. So we're not going to be a part of the sea in the waves that's going to be roaring. You see? So I'm going to go into a quick clip to show you what it looked like to trust in this broken reed. And these people is going to want a solution. And that solution without the Lord is going to be to trust in Esau. You know, real quick.
I can't afford my fiance insulin right now. You know, my baby, y'all know milk, how much it is a can. WIC could only cover so much. It's just a lot of stuff I'm not used to. I'm not used to not being able to provide for my baby. I'm not used to not paying my bills on time. Like, this shit is really taking my livelihood away, and they don't give a fuck. Tomorrow, these people leave for recess for 2 weeks. Mind you, we already short 2 checks and a half. Just imagine coming to work for a whole month and you ain't got $1. You ain't getting $1. All you getting is a free meal. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm drained. I'm tired of acting like I'm okay when I'm really not okay. It's mentally like disturbing me, and there's no ending to it.
Yeah, it is an ending to it. The Lord gonna destroy this place, man. You see? But yet, this is just the mindset of a lot of Americans, man. You know, this is just one person talking, but yet he's speaking for millions of people here in America. So, you know, this is how a lot of people feel, man. A lot of people is in this spirit, and soon these people gonna snap. You see? And he's gonna come with that solution, being that sea help, man. You know, and even to show this quick picture at the car wash and stuff. You know, it says, notice, we are cashless, card only. This is where that shit lean to, man. You see? All that distress that's growing, this nigga complaining, because really he was on that asking for money and stuff. You see? But that's something that's gonna grow. You know, complaint, and it's gonna get past that. It ain't like he gonna come with a solution to dead all this. And which you got these niggas got enough money to, you know, fix the situation, but they not gonna do it, because the plan is to get you to take that sea help, man. This the Lord's moving. You see, the Lord finna destroy this place, man, and those who trust in it. You know, but you see the build up. You see, and we just praying that the Lord keep us, man, because the evil's gonna grow. You know, a nigga just complaining in his car, it's gonna get past that, man. Soon they gonna be in your house, at your door, kicking it, trying to come through your window. Yes, this is what the Lord warned of, man. It's that 2 Ezra 16 and verse, it's like 15. 2 Ezra 15, verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. That word woe means death and destruction. For the sword and the destruction draw nigh. See? And one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Now, you're going to have this on a global stance of war, you know. But then right hand in your little neighborhood, people's going to be fighting swords in their hands for the sake of resources. It's going to get past gang banging, man. Having ops, you know. Niggas going to want food, man. You see? It says, for there to be sedition amongst men and invading one another. See, invading one another. But yet, along with that sedition, you know, you just had this no kings protest. But it says, they should not regard their kings nor their princes. Ah, man, see? And the course of that action should stand in their power. So this is where you headed. You know, you see the stage being built for shit to get worse, man. It says, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Yeah, because you might want resources that you can only go here to get it from, man. But you ain't gonna be able. They're gonna deny your access because you ain't got that device. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Yeah, nigga, you seen him helping his neighbor carry her groceries in the house. She's an older, frail woman. You know, she can't carry the water. He'll help her take the water up. Nah, soon that's gonna be a dangerous thing for her to do. You see? He's not gonna have pity upon you. You know, Miss Shirley and by herself, her damn grandchildren don't come see her. No, she got nothing but food in there, man. I'm gonna go kick the door. That's the mindset. That's gonna be the mindset. It says, but they shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? Things getting bad out here. The resources drying up, and the response is going to be violence, man. The evils. See, they're going to intensify. And we looking to be kept. Lord will, the Lord protect us. As is written in was that St. John, the 17th chapter, that he take us not out of the world, but that he keep us from the evils. You see? So Lord willing, we those men, you know. So yeah, I pray you will edify. Let's give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwa Dash. Lord, what's in this video? Shalom.